Hey, howdy, hi, I'm Mr. Rod Jones, and today I have something extra special for you. Today, we embark on a journey together to wade through the filth, the scum, the loathsome dung eaters of this world to find the truly abhorrent. Today, we discuss the pinnacle of maidenless behavior in Elden Ring PvP. My goal is to expose these spineless bottom feeders and to prevent anyone else from displaying such despicable behavior. I love Elden Ring and I love From Software, but there are quite literally thousands, if not tens of thousands, of maidenless tarnished actively destroying Elden Ring PvP. And
That makes me a sad panda.
Don't look so glum, cuz.
for I, Mr. Rod Jones, with Zweihander in hander, will storm stomp these losers back to the fiery pits of Mount Gelmir from whence they came. Now, for those of you that are unaware, Elden Ring invasions are an online multiplayer experience in which one player gets to join or invade the world of another player and literally enter their world. The goal of the invader is to kill the host, and the host goal is to fend off and defeat the invader. Most of these encounters are 2v1 or 3v2 in favor of the host, as it does take place in their world, meaning the host always has distinct advantages. Now, I have watched endless clips. I have combed through YouTube videos, I've read tweets, gone through Reddit, and I believe I have found by far the worst of the worst. What I'm about to show you is quintessential maidenless behavior. I'm talking Webster's dictionary type stuff. And without spilling every single bean in my can, YouTuber G9, who I'll link below, spent over 2 hours invading a host and his furled fingered friend, and displayed levels of patience and discipline you'd only ever find in a grizzled Marine sniper or a single mother of 4. And I, for one, am impressed. To not only stay alive for 2 hours against exploiters and cheaters with seemingly endless resources, which is a feat in and of itself, but to have the patience to stick with a 2+ hour invasion with seemingly nothing to show for it is more than admirable. He's a goddamn hero in my mind. Now, without further ado, the 2-hour invasion from hell. Our story begins with our hero entering the Dung Eaters' the domain of the Dung Eater to prey upon the foul beasts. Now, at this point, the good hero is obviously unaware of the fact that this particular invasion would last over 2 hours and provide him with countless laughs along the way, but he embarks nonetheless. To put that into perspective, I would say most invasions last anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes, maybe 10 to 15 minutes if you're doing a lot of running around in very rare cases. With the damage outputs in this game, most invasions are under 5 minutes, so to draw an invasion out and stay alive for over 2 hours really is incredible. Only a few minutes into the invasion, our hero boldly proclaims, "We're gonna be here for a while, fellas." Little did he know, he would play through multiple day and night cycles within the game. Like, the sun rose and then set inside the game multiple times. So, technically, one could say he spent days locked in the worst type of garbage battle possible. I mean, this would be torture for anyone else, but not for our hero. Truly, a legend was in the making. Now, to very clearly and unequivocally state the issues with our fecal frenzied friends, so as to not get it twisted, these two girdle gluttons overuse OP weapons like the Cross Naginata and OP Ashes of War like Seppuku. They use Rot Breath and other Dragon Breath incantations incessantly, both of which are OP and just generally annoying to face in PvP. They're both wearing the ugliest armor combinations in the game, which is more of a fashion faux pas than anything else, but it affords them huge benefits that tie into their builds, most notably impacting bleed. They use Bloodhound Step as if the ability to roll or dodge does not exist, and anyone with a brain knows Bloodhound Step is totally broken, destroys any notion of skill. These games, and PvP especially, are about spacing and timing, and BHS destroys those fundamentals by giving players what is essentially an invincibility button that teleports them from within striking distance to well outside of it. But worse than all of that, they are helmet swapping and they are cheating. For those named Patrick and living under a rock, helmet swapping is an exploit in the game that allows a player to regenerate health at no cost by equipping and unequipping certain helmets. This allows the player to regen health whenever they want, essentially giving them unlimited healing resources. And cheating is just cheating. Our hero also believes the host was save editing, which basically allows the player to reload old saves, once again, giving them unlimited resources. Some of these issues can't technically be considered abuse of the game per se. A lot of these things are in the game, so my gripe, and I believe our hero's gripe, is with From Software mostly. From Software created this unbalanced mess, and these gooch gropers are just using the tools available to them. However, their use of these tools is still bogus, and they know that. On top of all of these issues, tons of weapons and Ashes of War need serious nerfing in terms of damage output. Bloodhound Step needs to either be removed entirely or and all-around balancing needs to take place for the PvP in this game to improve. Now, back to our hero, as he bravely withstands the onslaught of bullshit to teach these tighty-whitey worshippers a lesson. Battling through two-handed bleed weapons and beaked land octopus alike, our hero shows both patience and poise, ever ready to pounce and strike. Against all odds, he deliberates and hunkers down for what he knows will be a war of attrition. A war he's more than prepared for. A war he will win. He's gonna win that shit. Very early on, G9 proves his resolve and is determined to drain them of all of their resources, if such a thing was possible. Throughout the video, as he continues to drain the brothers' flatulence of what we commonly refer to as blue juice or FP, we hear our hero say, "Sippy sippy, num num. Blue juice, sippy sippy, num num num. Sippy sippy indeed. Sippy sippy." Our hero also notices that despite the turd tamer's familiarity with feces and rot and all things gross, they do not have a single bolus to their names, which means he can constantly poison Captain Crumplebuns and Sergeant Wipey to his heart's content. Captain Crumplebuns, Sergeant Wipey. That's good content. Rivers of blood. Lightning bolts. Our hero evades attacks with ease. These smelly log lovers throw out everything in their arsenal, but the hero G9 is not deterred. He will have his victory, and he will have it with a large side of humiliation. He may even supersize it. I mean, is that even a thing anymore? I mean, could somebody find out, let me know? I remember the guy that made that horror movie about how the Golden Arches almost killed him, but I don't think I can supersize my large fries if I want to. What a world. What a world. By this point, our hero has realized a few things. One, he has the patience of a saint, and he says as much. Say a prayer for Saint G. If this were me, I would have been dead 2 corpse pilers and 3 rot breaths ago, but this is no ordinary man. The second is that these 2 diaper dandies are the saddest pair he's seen in quite some time. He poses the scenario. Imagine being these guys. Imagine being this pathetic. And no, I won't imagine. I mean, this particular brand of evil is not one I want to indulge in. The amount of sand you need to have lodged within multiple orifices is staggering. This level of pathetude knows no bounds, and unfortunately, this behavior is all too common a sighting in Elden Ring PvP. Again, considering the damage outputs on a number of busted weapons, G9 knows he has to play the long game, play passively, if he wants to secure the victory. Unfortunately, his opponents don't appear to be playing with full decks. I mean, what am I even looking at here? I mean, let's just say they aren't the brightest crayons in the box. Day becomes night, and they still don't understand the concept of spacing or timing, totally foreign to these ones. Let's just take a moment to observe. Adorable, really. Ooh, I love this clip, because it displays Sergeant Wipey's total lack of spatial awareness. I mean, if you remove the L2 button, half of the player base would fall off because their entire playstyle would be exposed. If I can't kill it with an L2, is it even worth killing? Almost as if they're posing a hypothetical question, not through words, but through their awful playstyle. Visual storytelling at its finest. And night becomes day. Our hero takes a morning jog to gather his thoughts. The local strays follow suit as they frolic amongst the indigenous fauna. One might ask the question, is anyone having fun? And to that I say, oh yeah. Pummeling cheaters into the ground is what helps our hero get out of bed in the morning. His metaphorical Wheaties, if you will.
And another Starlight Shard.
We mentally break cheaters. I'm in my element right now, says our hero, as his opponents hop over a log. They literally spent like minutes on this activity, multiple minutes jumping over that log. Old Loggy, they called it. Hero G9 is convinced that by this point, over an hour in, he has drained his opponents of thousands of FP. I can neither confirm nor deny the veracity of this claim, but I really don't care because it really doesn't matter. He says, that's dedication. That's me. And he's right. The patience, dedication, and the testicular fortitude to see these asshats die at any cost. That's just the kind of man he is. I mean, do you see these guys? He spent over 2 hours locked in a world with them. One might think our hero would need to speak with someone after such an altercation, but no. As we will see, it is the dung divers that will need to book a session with their local psychiatrists. But the psychiatrists are all cool and are like, nah, I don't treat gankers. Good luck with crippling mediocrity. Peace, fam.
Feel free to go off and die in a ditch somewhere.
The level of disrespect, teabagging, and using emotes as if they've accomplished something, as if they've achieved some moral or self-righteous high ground. Deluded, deranged. Our hero has finally broken these poor souls. But if our hero wasn't resolute in his desire to see his screen read "Host vanquished" before these transgressions, he certainly was now. And now, a Dragon Breath montage.
Look at that. Another, more wasted blue, dude. Man, these cheaters are amazing.
These brave men of House Targaryen will not quit until they've burned all of Elden Ring PvP to the ground.
Are they hacking? Oh, absolutely they are, dude. We've been at this for 2 hours.
One final last-ditch dragon breath, but our hero has seen it all before. As we reach the climax of our story, the hero G9 realizes they are finally giving up, throwing in the towel. The fat lady has sung, and it was a banger. Broken, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, broken. Our hero stands victorious. After 2 hours, he will never get back. Dinner is ready. Damn straight it is. They're having blue box mac with chopped up hot dogs in there. The good stuff. First, the lands between blessed us with the legend of Let Me Solo. And now, we have been graced with the hero G9. This legendary tale will go down in Elden Ring infamy. One hero, 2 butt wipes, and the tale of the 2-hour invasion from hell.